Hi everyone, I have 4 low time frame Elliott Wave scenarios, including their respective potential trading setups that I want to show you in this video. But in order to tell you how those low time frame scenarios might pan out, I do want to first show you the medium time frame scenario, which is this one, where I am looking for a WX and then a 3 wave in the Y ending somewhere in between the 1 to 236 over here, basically this yellow target box that I have with the confluences here on the side. Now that being said, looking for a 3-wave structure in this Y, these are the 4 low time frame setups that I want to show you in this video. The first one on the chart right now, where I'm looking for a 3-3-3 type of move, where this is then a W followed by an X and then eventually a Y. Now in this scenario, I have the X as an expanded flat. So over here we then have a 3-wave structure as an A, then we have a 3-wave in the B, followed by a 5-wave structure in the C that would finish the yellow X. And as you can see, what I like about this scenario is that the expanded flat wave B target is the 1.236 and the 1.38 Fibonacci, has a very nice confluence with my blue target box over here, of which you can see the confluences on the right side there. So this could be a very nice setup. The potential trade that one can take is entering then at the target area of this wave B expanded flat, stop loss below the lows, better safe than sorry, and eventually trading it to the upside, where I have another target box over here at about 23.4k. Now, eventually from there, one can trade it to the downside to eventually trade it down for this yellow wave Y with a stop loss above wave X and then just, trading it down to the yellow target box. The second scenario I have is if we have a W over here, a W, and then we have an X. This X is not going to be an expanded flat. However, it's going to be some sort of a WXY range. So we're going to basically create a range like this. And I want to see the 382 as a minimum target being hit. As long as this target is not hit, I'm not happy, but I will tell you more about that at the end of this video. So this is the second scenario, basically having a 3-wave over here. Now, I don't really like entering a short over here because of the massive void that we have, very little resistance over there. So there's always the possibility that somehow price is going to shoot to the upside. So I don't have any potential trading setups over here. However, I do have the one that if wave Y, so we then go down for wave Y, if wave Y is finishing somewhere around the yellow target box, then again, one can enter just above the yellow target box, stop loss below these lows, and then eventually trade it to the upside. The third scenario that I have is that the move down that we have is an impulse, so that this is basically the first part of a bigger Y. So then this is A, B, C, and then we finish the green Y as shown on the medium time frame. Now in this scenario, we would have some sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is definitely not my favorite scenario, looking at how long this range in the 4 is. However, we can never completely disregard it, so that's why I have it on my chart at the moment. Now, a wave 4 is currently valid as it did hit the 382 that is taken from the high of 2 to the low of 3 over here. The targets for wave 5 can be seen over there, which also has a little bit of confluence with my blue target box. So a potential setup in this scenario can be to enter in this blue target box with, again, the stop loss below the lows over here and then trade it to the upside for then wave B, as, not forget, we're in a 3-wave structure. So we're looking for something like this. So this is an A, 5-wave A, 3-wave B, looking for another 5 waves to the downside. And then the last setup that I want to show you is the following setup, where we have a 5-wave structure over here. So instead of this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we already have some sort of a 5-wave move impulse over here with a very extended 5th wave. So it must be something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a massive move 5 to the downside. It is unlikely, it is an alternative scenario, but again, it's one that we shouldn't forget about. So then this is an A, then we have B, and then we have C. And the minimum target for an ABC is hitting the 382 fib level. There we go again the 382. And price did not yet hit the 382 level that is taken from the high over here to the low over here. So one has to wait for this level to be hit and then eventually going to the downside. Now, just as the other scenario, I don't like entering or having a potential short setup here because of the massive void. However, one can trade the long setup In an ABC, the target usually is the 1-to-1, that's the most common, and then the 0.618 over there. So one can trade at the yellow target box, stop loss below the target box, below these lows for example, and then trade it to the upside. Basically there's two setups. So if I put the 382 on my chart right now, as you can see it's a purple one because this is very important. Either price is now going to go up, hit the 382 and then move down. If the 382 here is going to be hit, I'm not sure if I'm going to fancy a long in this blue target box, because it really depends on how price is going to come to the downside, because the 382, as just shown with a couple of scenarios, is a valid target for then having some sort of an A, B and then C to the downside, which would mean that the stop loss in this particular trade is very much at risk. However, if price is now going to move to the downside, then we have potential setups like this one, and let's see, where's the wave 5, and this one where it's a little bit cluttery, sorry for that. But as you can see, there's an overlapping trade over here because basically they're the same. If price is now going to move to the downside in, for example, this W and then a X and then eventually a Y, we can trade the blue target box over here to the downside as long as the 382 is not being hit. So if price moves to the downside first and not hit the 382 taken from X over here to W, this long can be quite interesting for the scenario on the chart right now, as well as this potential scenario where again it's basically the same trade, trading the long side. However, if we move to the upside and not first go down, then that trade, the long over here, is definitely not a trade that I fancy, depending on how we eventually go to the downside, because this 382 is a potential target in this scenario, the W, then X, and then eventually Y to the downside to the yellow target box. And it is also part of this scenario where we then have an A, B hitting the B and then eventually C to the downside, where we also skip the target box. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I had to struggle a little bit with how to explain it, but I hope this is very clear. These are the 4 scenarios that I keep an eye on. But what you surely have to remember from this video is price gonna touch the 382 first, or is price gonna go below this low first? And basically based on that, you can have a trading plan. That being said, thanks for watching this video. I hope it was insightful, showing you the 4 scenarios on the lower time frames with the individual trades per scenario. Please let me know in the comments what you think and which scenario you think is the most likely. I hope to hear from you. See you at the next video at 7 p.m. CET, Central East European Time, later today. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.